Hello guys, ClassixGamer here, and bringing you another update video and a bit of a different video because I'm rather pissed off right now, not at you guys but at another YouTuber. I've watched a few of these videos, this is how you don't play, and featuring Darkside Phil or DSP Gaming, and there's a number of things that he's done during his videos that are just highly insulting to me, and a lot of people give him a lot of stick for it, and I thought enough's enough. I gave him kind of a bit of praise in a previous update and said he's not terrible at games, but he's not the best, and he has said this. To my knowledge, he has said I'm not great at games, but the thing that bugs me the most about Phil is he bitches about everything but his own style of play. I was watching Metal Gear Solid, and let's endure Metal Gear Solid with a lot of other people, and they were watching him play through it, and there was a group of them in the chat watching him do it, and they were saying just how bad he is. I mean, on Metal Gear Solid 2 he didn't know how to use rations, and the brain stem that must be in his brain didn't really didn't click into place and say, oh, you press L2. No, it didn't. He ran around like a headless chicken, not knowing what to do, and he was just moaning about, oh, this is great, this is fantastic, oh, Kojima's the best ever. And he did that in Metal Gear 4 as well. And for me, I think Hideo Kojima is a legend. He's the godfather of games. I mean, people can argue against that if they're not big Kojima fans, but as a fan of his, as a person who's played all of these games, all of the Metal Gear Solid games, apart from Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, excuse me, Solid Snake on the SNES, I think it was the SNES or the NES. I have played a little bit of those when it came out with Metal Gear Solid Substance for Metal Gear 3, but not too much. And this guy just moans and bitches and bitches and moans and moans and moans and bitches, and just every excuse why the game's wrong, controls are terrible, and he doesn't really try and take his time with Metal Gear. Like there's a Metal Gear Solid 1 LP he done where he just openly he makes these horrible jokes, that racist jokes. He does this horrible bow 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 bow, and you don't want that when you're watching a person do a game. I don't do that. I've done Metal Gear Solid 1 more than once. I've done it as a LP, it was well received. I've done it as a speed run, it was also well received. But this guy does this horrible, just bullshit noises that don't need to be said. And last night I was watching it, and I thought to myself, you know what, I've had enough. So I thought to myself, I'm quite a small YouTuber, I'm not big, but I'm going to call Phil out, and I'm going to say, Phil, I know you probably won't care what I have to say. You'll probably see my channel and think, oh, this guy, he's small, who gives a fuck what he thinks? Well, actually, Phil, I've got my own community, my own little group of people who watch me and who actually like what I do. Yes, I do rage at stuff, and I've just finished Metal Gear 2 on the PC, and if you want to play a game that is in a lot of people's eyes a bad port of that version of the game, play the PC version and try and get in those controls optimised. You will struggle. I'm telling you now, you will struggle, especially in the Solidus fight. I struggled, and I say that I'm a great Metal Gear Solid player. I believe that. I know how to play the game. I speed run the game. I even did the game in 2.5 hours. So I consider myself to be a great Metal Gear Solid player. Metal Gear 2, yeah, I'm a bit rusty at that. I wasn't playing it on a game I was familiar with. I was trying to get used to the controls. I had a lot of off-screen work with the controls being changed, and a lot of issues actually installing the game as well. But Phil, I want to know why you do this. And it's not just these games as well. You slate every classic game that has been out throughout the years. Crash Bandicoot, Spider-Man on PS1, Metal Gear Solid 2, all the classic games that are classic. Resident Evil 1, 2, 2 and 3. You just slated them. Even Code Veronica you made fun of. But why, Phil? Why do you do this? And you do stuff during your recording that is just disgusting. Like you burp, you don't apologise, you make racist jokes, you do this stupid horrible stupid laugh, which is just so fake and so put on. It's incredible. And then last night, very briefly, you even insulted British accent. I mean, what are you thinking? You've already got a lot of hate, mate. Why are you making it worse for yourself? People, have a go at you, and on your Spider-Man video, you go, well, people who have negative comments, I'm not going to read them. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, mate. What kind of arse does that? I mean, surely if you have negative comments, you will take them on board and maybe change how you do stuff, change the way you speak, change the way you might present yourself in a video. And there are some places on the videos where you do fairly well, but apart from that, you play fucking awful, and I mean terrible. I think you've got to seriously think about who you're insulting here, because if you make racist jokes on YouTube, that is a serious thing. And I've heard people say you have. I was watching it earlier and the guy was saying you make racist jokes. I didn't pick up on them, but he did. And I'll leave a link in the description to the video. And there are racist jokes that are said. Because I can't hear Phil's commentary very well, but he obviously picks it up better than me. And I just can't believe you do that, mate. Seriously, racist jokes. I mean, are you for real? If you did that in the UK, mate, you would get arrested for racist jokes. I mean, yeah, I know it's racist. I know comedians do, jokes. You can say they do jokes that are racist that are funny, but we all know they're joking. But you insult everything. You insult people's intelligence. You insult the fans. You said for Spider-Man fans of the LPS1 game, you feel sorry for people growing up with those games. You had the absolute cheek to turn around on your Metal Gear Solid 1 video when you were trying to beat the hide, and you hit the crate thing, but that was your fault. Your fault. You didn't aim properly. Or how do I aim? There's no lock-on button. Well, if you actually aim at the helicopter, mate, you would have known that to begin with. I mean, yeah, I died a lot of times when I first played that game, but at least I looked at what I was doing and I paid attention. You don't. You talk over cutscenes so people can't actually listen. So if people want an experience in these games that may not play them, maybe my nephew, for example, if he wanted to experience Metal Gear, he can't, because you just talk over the top of cutscenes. You make your own stupid jokes. You bitch and moan. You constantly go on about how the controls are bad. And then Metal Gear 2, you're saying just kill me, wondering why the guards follow you through the doors. Well, that's what they do, Phil. That's what they do. I mean, any person with a brain stem would realise that. Even someone with a brain stem with a tiny little cell would realise that. Even someone with no brain would know that. Even my cat would know that. And she's a cat. On a different note, guys, Metal Gear 2 is finished. I haven't put up an update video yet, but that LP is not in HD, so just so you're aware of that. And I hope you all are enjoying sort of the tanker part of that, but it's not HD. There is one video later on that is HD, but that's the only video. I couldn't do it in HD because the game the frame rate went down, and it was just really difficult to basically to do in that way. What other games do I've got planned? Well, I've got a few games in mind that I've got in mind. Little Bit Adventure 2. That's a bit of a hit or miss at the moment. I'm not sure. Broken Sword 3. Definitely want to do that one because I haven't done that one yet. DSX Game of the Year. I do want to do Kingpin, but the controls are really bad on that game. Just the keyboard controls are really difficult to get used to and change, and you can't tell what's what because it's an old game. Runaway Road Adventure, again, that's another game I can do, and also Parasite Eve as well, that's ongoing. So yeah guys, I hope, you know, Phil, you take notice of this, and yeah, I am calling you out, so I would hope that you do a response, and just say, you know, answer my questions. I want to know why you act like you do, mate. I just want to know, you know, please just give something at least to your you know, have respect for your own community, your own fans. You know if I do something wrong and I burp or anything like that during my videos, I immediately apologise. I acknowledge that because it's not nice for the audience to know. Like for example, I used to eat when I recorded, and someone put something on my video and said it'd be nice to hear you if you didn't have a mouthful of food. Do you know what I did? Instead of ignoring that comment and then completely being an arse about it, or a complete and utter idiot and saying, oh yeah, you know, I don't read it, I actually took that on board and I thought, actually, this guy's got a point. I'm not going to eat while I record. If I burp, I apologise. If I say the C word, see you next Tuesday, the CUNT word, I immediately apologise. I don't, you know, say anything. If I swear too much or I rage, I stop the video, have a cooling off period, and then come back and I explain why. Anyway, that's me. I've ranted. I'll let you all go now. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.